In this topic, we'll demonstrate the importance of storing payroll electronic filing onto your local system from the Sage 300 Online Cloud. When we run government reports, for example T4 electronic filing or R1's electronic filing, a file is generated on the Sage Cloud. The file contains important personal information such as employees' names, date of birth, social security number. Under the U.S. Privacy Law Act PII, personally identifiable information, meaning information security that can be used on its own or with other information to identify, contact, or locate a single person or identify an individual. Files containing this information must be stored onto your local system and not on our Sage 300 Online Cloud under the PII Act. So therefore, we will show you how to map this information directly onto your local drive. First, we will run a government T4 electronic filing on the Sage 300 Cloud. And we will create a folder onto your local system and then browse to this folder. Have all the information in the file to be generated and stored onto your local system. Then we will verify the file is on your local system through the Sage 300 Online Cloud. The benefits of having this file stored locally: well, you have a backup of the information since it's removed from the Sage 300 Cloud via auto-generated script. You also have a copy for audit purposes. And the information, once it's on your local system, can be uploaded to the government sites or Revenue Canada. Now you have a good understanding of securing sensitive data from the cloud. I will now generate a T4 electronic filing. First, I will log on to the Sage 300 Online Cloud. Once I have logged into the Sage 300 Online Cloud, under Programs, I will select Sage 300 Online. I will enter my user ID and password. And under Payroll, Canadian Payroll, I select the T4 electronic filing. I will select my employee. In this example, I will only select one employee. Select the EI rates. Select my province. And enter all the information that's required to generate a T4 electronic filing. Once I've entered the required information, before I select the local file path where I want this information stored to, I've already created a directory onto my local drive. So I will select Browse. Once I've selected the Browse for the folder, as you can see, my local drives are already mapped. And in this particular case, if you scroll down lower, you'll see the A4W04 and the resources. These two map drives are on the Sage 300 Cloud, which we do not want to copy that information. The resource folder is the folder that contains all the crystal reports, so you can choose different crystal reports when printing. And the A4W04 is also on the Sage 300 Cloud, which is the information where it's stored your company or you like to back up your data. But in this particular case, we're going to store the information to our local drive. So I'm going to select my E drive since I've created my folder there. Under Sage 300 Online, I created a folder called T4. And then you should see a map, a UNC mapping to that folder, which is the T4 folder. And then I should select Process. So the information is processed under the message. I will now close and verify that information is stored onto that directory. So I'll select the data drive to my local E drive. And T4. And there it is. Confirm my file is generated onto my local drive. This will conclude on securing your Sage 300 Online Payroll magnetic file, and you should have a good understanding on why it is important and how to map the file onto your local drive under the PII Privacy Act.